with like a presentation like where you can read a couple speeches of His Majesty.
Yes, yes.
You know, speaking about repatriation, speaking about the land that He gave to us.
Okay.
You know, speak about coming home. Then we can view even about the, you know, talk on the actual repatriation movement and the 7 miles of Black Star Line and who is waiting and, you know, and then have the pros and the cons about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's one of the greatest things. You know, everybody about repatriation, enough of them are saying them wait for the Black Star Line to come. When Marcus Garvey was doing his works, he worked towards it and he funded and got the Black Star Liner. Everybody saying they're waiting for it to come. When His Majesty prepared the land and said that we must come home. It is there for anyone, any African who is away, who wants to come back to the motherland. So he opened the way to repatriation.
True.
This is not, it's not a big, like how they want to put it, like in the what do you call it, in the rapture. When Jah will come and pick up everybody one time and then, no. He go to the 4 corners of the earth and gather the people them one by one.
And put them together like what we are doing.
Back home. Who don't want to repatriate home will remain here and will end up in the judgment. So we got to show the people them that regardless of if you're going with a group, you have to repatriate home even if it's by yourself.
How did you do that?
His Majesty don't set it. And put the land there and the land is there. And now it's sanctioning the land and taking the land from us now because we are waiting too long to go. And it's the same thing as Majesty said. We are waiting too long to go. We are waiting too long to act on the things that we're supposed to act on.
That's right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
So we remain in poverty while they have all our wealth. You know what I'm saying? We come from a land of wealth and riches.
That's
go
right.
to a land of poverty and shame. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's to put it like that to the people.
Yes, sir.
Because you see the people them feel now since through them build over here. You know what I'm saying? Sweat and blood. They feel like you know they deserve to be here. You know? But they got to remember that the slaves them that built here never desired to be here.
True.
Even though they build all these great buildings and things, they never desired to be here. They wanted it built home. It was already built home and they break it up, they mash it up. You see? So these are the thoughts we got to bring back to the people then. Like Malcolm X say, they have left their minds, you know.
True.
So they got to go back to Africa to get their mind. You know?
Question number 1. What do you think about repatriating home to Africa?
What's up, brothers and sisters? This is Brother Al Jehudi Thompson, coming from Harlem, 24 years old. I'm here to answer the question of repatriation for Africans in the Western Hemisphere. This is a touchy subject because a lot of people have followed the Garvey movements, the Henry McNeil Turner movements, and with the Back to Africa movements. Now, the issue is that a lot of those ventures have failed. Number one is that we cannot go back to Africa with nothing to offer Africa. We have to do things here first and prove ourselves business worthy, educationally worthy, culturally worthy, socially worthy in order to go back to Africa with the right mindset and also with the credentials to show our brothers and sisters on the continent that we can help them grow the economy and do things to modernize.
That's a very deep subject. One, we have to think about this. How are we going to go back and what mindset we're going to go back in. And the reason why I say that is, if you look at African people over here and the training that we've been getting since slavery and religion, when the brothers did go back over to Africa, they went back over there with a European mind and they looked at the Africans as though they was backwards. And so therefore, Liberia is a perfect example of Africans going back to Africa and not behaving the way Africans and looking down on them because they was not Christians and so on and so forth. But there's another point.
The question that was posed to me is, if I'm consider myself an African, why am I still here in this country and not in Africa? And I expressed to the brother that although I catch a lot of flack from this from brothers in the conscious community, I don't consider myself to be an African. I consider myself to be of African heritage. My ancestors, I consider them to be from Africa, but I also have African American heritage also. I live in this country. I'm a citizen of this country. So I consider myself to be an American. I believe this land was called some form of America long before the Caucasian got here. And I believe my ancestors were here long before the Caucasian got to this land. Not to parrot off of what the Morris brothers are saying, but coming from the research done by Professor Njemi and Professor Ivan Van Sertima, they've proven beyond reasonable doubt that the African was on this land long before the Caucasian got here. So I say I'm indigenous to this land here, and I believe that this land was called America before the Caucasian got here. I don't believe the story of America's Vespucci, none of that. So I consider myself to be an American. Simple as that.
The Rastafari movement can be described as having two parts, redemption and repatriation. Redemption, which is growing our locks, eating Ito food, which is our way of saying natural within the realms of Rastafari liberty, reading our scriptures and studying our culture and history, wearing our cultural clothing. We see many brethren and sisters doing this. However, we do not see many seeking repatriation or return to the motherland, Africa. What are you doing toward the repatriation effort?
Blessed love, greetings in the name of the Most High, His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Menen I ever faithful, I ever true, give thanks for life, and give thanks for the mighty life giver, Emperor Haile Selassie I the first. The reason why you see me right now in front of your face, if you're watching me, the reason why you're watching me right now, and the reason why you are listening to me, because of repatriation. Because I see that a lot of people forget where they come from. Not a lot of people, I should say, black people forget where they come from. They forget their roots and their culture. You have to know your roots and your culture. Marcus Garvey said people without a roots and without a knowledge of their culture is like a tree without a root. Right now, black people from the east and to the west and to the north and to the south, we have to come out of Babylon. We're there in here too long. It's like some people like them comfortable in a Babylon. Jehovah's, right now I and I have to come together and plan together, work together. His Majesty said organize and centralize. He never said just come together, burn ganja, just reason for a little bit and don't do no works. I'm just speaking from my heart and the way how I, woman, feel about this repatriation movements. Let's come together for one cause, Africa. Jehovah's, remember our foreparents was brought into slavery. We was robbed of our name, language. We don't even speak the same. We don't even understand our brothers when they speak in Africa. Jehovah's, you need to start teaching your youths them their roots and their culture, because that's how I and I gonna know where we are going. We can't forget Africa. Black people, rise up. Now is the time we stand together. We can't stay from right here, so, and build Africa. The Chinese, them, they over there are build up Africa. The Chinese, them over there inherit Africa. The Indian, them, the white man, them are rob from Africa, resource, them are rob with diamond, them are rob with gold. Well, we're not going to talk about money, you see, because that's a different topic right there. Yes, I. So we just want the item for no say, let's come together and just work together as one. We have to come together with love and unity. And Rastafari is a way of life.